Hey guys, Dave here, and today we're going to be talking all about t-shirt photography tips and tricks, how you could get professional product shots for your clothing brand or your website with just the equipment you have at home. So are you ready? Let's learn and let's get right to it. If you are new to the channel, Transfer Express is the leading supplier of custom digital and screen printed heat transfers for the apparel decorating industry. With 2 facilities in Ohio and Arizona, we're equipped to meet the demand for our customers nationwide. We are dedicated to customer service, and helping grow custom apparel businesses is our #1 priority. Everything we do is focused on making sure we send high quality, fashionable custom transfers on time and on a budget. Now today, when you're buying online, you buy with your eyes, and that makes your product photography the most important aspect of your product listing. Yes, you gotta nail the t-shirt, the fit and feel are great, but how do you convey that information to your prospective customers when they're browsing your website or engaging with your content online? To get those awesome professional quality results at home, you can, if you do have one laying around, use a digital camera. If you have one of these at home, a DSLR, a Canon, Sony, Nikon, these are absolutely going to give you the best resolution and the clearest image quality possible when you're shooting. Now, a lot of people don't have these or don't know how to use them properly. The #1 best camera that you have on you at all times, unless you're a photographer or always carrying around a DSLR, is gonna be the camera in your pocket. Now, these new smartphones have awesome cameras and awesome features. Of course, lighting is the #1 step. Here in our studio here at Transfer Express, we have a whole bunch of lights set up, but we know it's not all that accessible for everyone to get their hands on them. It is very time consuming to set up and learn how to professionally light things. But we're gonna show you how you don't have to buy any lighting whatsoever and harness the natural light that's gonna be available to you in your apartment or your home or your dorm room or wherever you are. We'll get you set up and get ready to go. We're gonna use some parchment paper or any Teflon sheets that you have from your heat printing setup. Now this is awesome. This is going to block a little bit of the light and diffuse it so you don't have such hard shadows and a little bit more even lighting coming across your t-shirt. Next, we'll be talking about backdrops. Now you could use tons of different kinds of backdrops, and they are available in a wide different variety, from paper to fabrics. This one right here, this one is a kind of wood pattern. So if you wanted to photograph something like a wood floor, this is a great way to be able to get that aesthetic. Now these do get wrinkled and beat up as they get tossed around, which is why we like using something more on the fabric side. These are really cool. They're wrinkle resistant as they are, but if they do get any wrinkles in them, it's super easy to steam them out. If they get stepped on or get some dust or dirt on them, they're really easy to just throw in the washer and you're able to reuse them. But these run probably starting at like 50 or 60 bucks, where the paper versions start more in the $20 range. They are absolutely awesome to have in the studio, especially if you are trying to match the aesthetic for all of your social media posts or all of your product listings. It's a great backdrop to have and use often. So the last thing we're gonna talk about here in our supplies is going to be a piece of foam board. Now we just bought this piece of foam board at the dollar store for $1, but this is going to be an incredibly versatile tool that we're gonna be able to use as a fill card. So that's going to bounce some of our direct light that we're gonna be harnessing from outside back into our shadowed side of the t-shirt or product or whatever you're photographing. And we're gonna show you how you could harness the natural light today to get some awesome photos on your phone by yourself. All right, now that we are here right by our beautiful large window on a bright sunny day, you may need to take your tape and your parchment paper or a cover sheet or a Teflon sheet and just take it up to the window and tape it up to the window. That's gonna reduce a lot of the hard shadows and kind of really diffuse a lot of the light coming in to give you a little bit more natural studio look than a full sunlight look. But we don't need it today. The clouds are diffusing the sunlight for us. We got our backdrop just laid over a table here. Now we're just using one of our textured backdrops that does have a white back. And so this is all laid down, is going to be a great place for us to get started. We're going to take this George Washington shirt, party like it's 1776, and lay it down. If you do not have a t-shirt folding card mechanism, whatever really you want to call it, you're gonna just see where your graphic is on your shirt, and we're gonna lay this face down onto the table. We're gonna place our idea book right there on the graphic. You want it as centered as possible. Now, using this instead of just freehand folding is going to allow you to get your graphic perfectly centered into the fold and not folded down too much or off to the side, and so it looks very natural and retail ready. So we'll fold the sides over as we are there. We'll fold this bottom up just a tiny bit, and we'll fold everything right on over. Now that we've got it up and over, we'll flip it back over, and as you can see, everything nice and centered. It is folded a little bit underneath, but it shows you the collar line and down to the garment. Before we start taking any photos, there's a few tips that we should go over when you're taking photos with your phone. All right, first rule of thumb here is gonna be to make sure that your flash is turned off. We have it turned off right up here in the upper left-hand corner. If you're using an iPhone to take your product photography, we recommend turning the live photo off. Your live photo is just right up here, and that's gonna take a short video before and after you take your photo. We could turn it off to just get a nice, clear photo. Now, second, do not zoom in. So when you zoom in, the image quality actually degrades. And you can see here at the bottom that it does have a 1.2 or whatever. You wanna stay at 1 times. On newer iPhones, you could even zoom out and get a wide angle. We don't want to do that as well because that actually switches to a wide angle lens on the back of the camera. You want to stay at your regular one. The next step is to clean your lens. You don't need to run the whole treatment on it. Usually I just make sure that I wipe it off. You're touching your phone so often that it's easy to get fingerprints on the lens surface, which is going to make your photos look blurry and possibly distort the light on them. You don't want that. Steady camera is key, especially in less than ideal lighting conditions when you have a little bit less light than what the camera wants. Any shakes could change your image. For this first shot, we're just going to be top down right here. So all we're going to do is get it set up here as close proximity to the window as we can to get the most light on it, and we have a nice white surface here. Now we'll go right up over top. Now here, when you're looking down on top of it, it's really easy to see if the colors look accurate on your phone versus what's happening on the actual shirt. So we know the shirt here on the screen looks a little dark. You're going to select your actual t-shirt on the screen. And when you tap and focus on your object, you get this little bar on the side. So we're just gonna drag this up a little bit to see that improve, and we're gonna get a little bit more accurate color on of what the shirt actually looks like. I'm just noticing right here on the side, especially when looking through the camera, we have quite the hard shadow here on this edge. Now, to even the lighting out and even some of the shadows in this garment, let's go ahead and grab our piece of foam board, and we'll just use our tripod here to prop it up, and it really evens things out and allows you to take a much nicer photo. Bam. For shooting directly flat, like flat shots, we are gonna move this to the floor. So we just moved our backdrop down to the floor, and we're just gonna go ahead and take our shirt, lay it right down onto the floor, and give us a good little spot here to take some photos. So going for kind of a natural look, you wanna keep some of these wrinkles in the garment and make it look like it was just tossed down, but professionally tossed down. So as we get all set up here, we have our fill card over on this side. So we'll go ahead and get our camera, and we'll do the same exact thing that we did on the table. We'll bring up the exposure just a little bit, and bam, perfectly executed product photos. One thing that I love to do is just take a little bit of short video that you could put on your social media feeds. And just while you're here, all we'll do is make sure that we're in a 16:9, and we'll make sure that we could get the sparkliness here in the actual print. And if you're making TikToks, you get some nice vertical feed too. And we'll start up close. And that's it.
Easy as that.
I hope that something we showed you today can make a positive impact on your t-shirt product photography. All of us at Transfer Express are absolutely floored by your dedication to learning more and bettering your t-shirt business. We want to be here to be a resource for you every step along the way. But if you haven't already, like this video and make sure to click that subscribe button and stay up to date about all the content that we're posting weekly. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing.